Hey, I'm hearing scuttlebutt around the squad bay. Talk that maybe Colonel Ship took this too far. We could have quarantined Katanga, right? Called in more ships? Listen, the Colonel knows about everything people know about Xenos. How they react, how their guts work. She knew that before she joined the Corps. When she was a teenager, she survived a Xeno outbreak. Little outlier colony. You would never heard of it. One thing she'll always hold to. Gotta kill them fast. The longer you wait, the more chance they got to spread. I don't know all the details, and you know what? It ain't my place to ask, but I do know she got a twin sister, Viola. Also, the ship went into a goddamn hive to rescue her. That's how she learned some of the shit she know about Xenos, watching close range from inside. Maybe, but by the time a battle group got here, Weyland Yutani would have their people in system. Executives and dog-catcher teams, mercenaries and lawyers. They find something to cite that the Colonel don't got authority to override, Colonial Protection Act or not. Then they swagger aboard Katanga or land on LV-895 and fuck it all up real good. Xenos find ways. They hide, go where humans can't. Tight spaces, vacuum, deep cold. Wait for their chance. Come when you ain't looking. And don't expect them. But just don't go bringing it up with herself. Tu sabe? Colonels ain't in the habit of explaining themselves to grunts. Yo, it's just between you and me.
Somebody printed a Hyperdyne Systems weapon brochure. On paper. Hyperdyne's whole damn business is based on virtual sales. They don't manufacture anything. They sell licenses for fabrication blueprints and ballistics software. When you order, they send a bunch of files over Hyperpulse. You load them into your own fabricator and hit print. Look, I know Hyperdyne is technically the enemy. They design small arms for the Union of Progressive Peoples. But they know how to run a business. Few colonies in the Hyades had heavy industry, and they were short on freighters. But every outpost had general-purpose commercial fabricators. Hyperdyne knows where the wind's blowing. That's how they survived as a UPP state enterprise when other Hyades megacorps got nationalized.
You scanned a xenomorph organ? Show me your data. Acid spray gland. Relatively intact. I'll give this a good review later. Spitters are interesting. Most forms of xenomorph charge and attack with claws and striking teeth. These things deliberately keep their distance. They have claws and teeth, and they'll use them if you're stupid enough to get close. Mostly they spray acid. Like terrestrial oogpeister beetles or spitting cobras. I've seen reports of ranges up to 25 meters. I'm damn curious to know what these things breed out of. We've seen spitters before, but not often. And this head shape is unique. They must come from something native to LV-895. Marine, I heard you found damaged armor aboard Katanga. Huh. That didn't just get sprayed with acid. It got soaked in a puddle. Probably from the corpse of a burster. There's a rich history of poisonous critters on Earth. Dart frogs, rough-skinned newts, the blue-ringed octopus. If a predator takes a bite, they die. Xenobursters take you don't dare kill it to a new level. Subcutaneous, high-pressure acid bladders that burst on death. It's a perfect example of xenomorph survival strategy. Doesn't matter if an individual dies, so long as the hive continues. When a burster's killed, it harms the hive's enemies, so they charge in, suicidally close. This is a morph we haven't seen before. It must come out of some species native to LV-895. I can't wait to see what that is.
We told you that 25 years ago, Katanga was falsely reported destroyed. At 2175, Seegson had moved it to the Mid-Rim. 2 years later, the colony it serviced was overrun by xenomorphs. Survivors fled to Katanga, where the infestation spread. Colonial Marines responded to their distress call. It was, sadly, yes, General Delilah Vaughn, one of the conspirators responsible for the Frontier War in 2184. Before her disgrace, she rose to Assistant Commandant of the Corps. Colonial Marine officers conspired with Weyland-Yutani executives to provoke a war between the United Americas and the Union of Progressive Peoples. The generals wanted a decisive war after decades of proxy conflicts and containment. Weyland-Yutani merely wanted to drive arms sales. The Colonial Protection Act was passed to prevent such things from happening again, and Commissars was initially formed to monitor outside influences on the Corps. There were no reported sightings, not in any star system visited by humans, and not recorded by any vessel in transit. Most likely, Weyland-Yutani moved Katanga to a location in deep space, far off the shipping lanes. They used it as an ant farm to breed experimental stock. When the company wanted to accelerate their experiments at Paula Station, they moved it here. Seegson reported something unusual on the far side of the planet from their settlement. It became the focus of the entire colony's efforts. The xenomorph outbreak began at that remote site and spread back to the main complex. The colonists ultimately abandoned the surface and fled to Katanga. Some evacuees proved to be infected and the infestation flared up again. There was discord among the survivors, unspecified personal grievances. A few deaths were involved. Forgive us if we don't identify the system. It's classified. The planet had suffered a global extinction event around 80 years previous. It was nearly devoid of animal life. Biomes had begun to collapse for lack of pollination. Acidic soil and water were spreading, and the atmosphere was growing over-oxygenated, which made it perfect for the mass importation of Earth livestock. Judging by the embryo gene lines in their cargo manifests, the colony hoped to become known for its steaks. If you wish to review, we're always available. No need to warn us ahead of time. We have your schedule. A corporate intelligence report. Recent border activity by the Union of Progressive Peoples, a subject of concern to commissars as well. The UPP has been a rival of the United Americas and our nominal allies in the Three-World Empire for much of the last century. There are frequent confrontations with the UPP's space operating forces. Things were more contained before the Hyades revolt of the 50s and 60s. Lack of attention to corporate abuses in the colonies drove many to embrace the UPP's anti-capitalist sentiments. To summarize the current balance of power, we enjoy the most robust industry. Our 3WE allies possess the finest technology, but the UPP has the largest population base. Most Marines refer to UPP forces as proggies. They often call us corporatists.
AUA Centennial poster. Guess somebody on Wayland's refit crew was a patriot. My abuela said our great-grandfather hated the United Americas, an alliance of every nation in South, Central, and North America, plus most of the Caribbean. He prayed failed every night at dinner. Said it'd be the end of Cuba's own culture. I wonder if we'll even celebrate the centennial. News from the Corps says negotiations with the Three-World Empire are going well. I mean, there'll be treaties tying us together as the United Systems. The proggies ain't gonna like that. The UPP sees everything as a threat. You think if bugs drool in their sleep, they wake up stuck to the floor? Actually, do they ever sleep? Bring me back something nice. The Xenos took out the entire Blue Fireteam. Their mission falls to us. You're going into the heart of the Hive to rig the refinery for detonation. That will take out the Xeno Queen, her entire brood, and you if you don't move fast.
Shore party, remain in your seats until we are skids down and I call clear. I don't want your fat heads bleeding all over my deck.
You're gonna put the refinery into overload state. You need to do that from process control. It's at the base of Likasi's core.
That is likely near the Xenomorph Queen.
Sentry setup.
Likely a bunch of those prowling down here. Don't forget to watch for eggs.
Sentry active.
Tight, cover each other. Before you enter the core, we'll restore the auxiliary lift. It'll be your egress. The self-destruct won't give much time.
ambush. Sentry set up. Sentry deployed.
Locked. There's an active terminal. Try it.
Sentry deployed.
Bug sneezed on the console.
Ammo drop here.
Assistance required. Assistance required. Assistance required.
Console's busted. New plan. You cut through the door. Delay my last. Incoming!
Patching up.
Bypassing damage.
Sentry active. Ammo drop here.
Elevator's not far. Just cut through that door.
Got 8 hits here. Ammo drop.
Bypassing damage.
Sentry deployed.
Assistance required.
Sentry set up.
Dinos ahead! Check 6! Bugs on your ass!
Hey, you pull this off, ship will probably write you up for a medal. Make sure you thank me.
Sentry active. Sentry set up.
Bugs turn this room into a maze. Be ready.
Assistance required.
Sentry deployed. Ammo drop here.
Drones, smash it quick!
Sentry deployed.
The aux elevator. Get it powered up. After you start the overload, this will be your evac route.
Assistance required. Bypassing damage.
Sentry active. Ammo drop.
Let's nuke this barge. Hold at the core for briefing.
Sentry deployed. Ammo drop.
I haven't seen cocoons since... Don't look at their faces. It's easier to pick them.
Some are life forms from LV-895, brought up by Cynthia.
Sentry set up.
Assistance required. Assistance required. Assistance required.
Sentry active.
Assistance required.
setup.
Assistance required. Bypassing damage.
Sentry deployed.
Praetorian, heading your way!
Bypassing damage.
Process controls the next room. End game. Prep while we brief you.
Fireteam, this is Colonel Ship. There are 3 systems you'll disable. Esther will guide you through the process. When all 3 systems are down, the reactor will build up to overload. You'll have about 2 minutes to reach that elevator you fixed. No one else dies to this hive. See to it.
The lift will express you down to subdeck 5. We'll be waiting to evac you there.
Assistance
You ready? Breach the door.
Patching up. Let's rock! Let's rock! I'll cut it.
Vaya con Dios, kids. Make me proud. Thought that catwalk looked
Sentry
unstable.
deployed.
You'll egress by a different route.
I am analyzing the control systems. Stand by.
I'll drop here.
Please reroute the coolant away from the refinery core.
Aid kit's here.
Go back to hell!
Get eyes on this. Sentry deployed.
Focus fire on the big ones!
Bypassing that.
Knives out!
New signal!
Lines out! Ammo drop.
Please access the primary power regulator. Activate all systems. Full draw.
Keep
Sentry
firing!
deployed. Lines out! Lines out!
You got him!
Bypassing that.
Ammo drop.
Horde inbound!
Lines out!
Please disable the primary manual breakers.
Keep it up!
Sentry deployed.
Shutdown imminent. Rebooting.
Ammo drop. Catching up.
Please input override code 260479 and press the button marked Shakti Access.
Back to the elevator. Move! Dino Queen! Can't kill her. Get the hell out! Assistance required. Paulette! Assistance required. Tag it! Pick up the pace! Come on! Electric arcs! Jeez!
Sentry deployed.
Go around her! Shutdown imminent. Assistance required. Buckle in, shore party. We're burning to escape debris scanner.
Under my authority as delegated by the Secretary of the Navy, I have awarded you the Expeditionary Service Ribbon for heroic service. Upon loss of contact with a Marine unit, you advanced into a xenomorph hive and confirmed the status of 3 MIAs. You then completed their mission, resulting in the destruction of said hive. Your boldness and dedication are in keeping with the finest traditions of the Colonial Marine Corps and United America's Armed Services. Given this day, in May 2202, Colonel Olivia Shipp, Commanding Officer, 33rd Marine Regiment, 11th Marine Division. Some things don't belong in official reports. Katanga has been a stain on the honor of the Corps for years. If you haven't heard the details yet, don't worry about it. I'll just say I'm personally glad to see the place blown to hell. Report to Lieutenant Santos for debriefing. Dismissed. Woof. Does that smell you, Marine? You must have run into xenoshedding. You get a scan? Look, when a xenohive gets big, around 300 individuals, the queen secretes royal jelly. They feed it to adult drones, and it triggers a second stage metamorphosis. I don't think we know what that process looks like. Maybe they spin a cocoon. I'd love to know. Anyway, what comes out is a Praetorian, nearly as large as a queen. Mean as hell. They've got a head plate that's nearly impenetrable. They use it as a shield and for ramming attacks. Praetorians guard the queen and the deepest levels of the nest. They don't leave often. Good data, but you might want to hit the showers.
Hey, aside from Esther, I think you're the one I've spent the most time with. It was all running and shooting and screaming, but that's time. Right? Look, one of the Paula Station crew was a spy for Hyperdyne Systems. We never found out what he sent off station. Maybe his handlers know all about the pathogen and the xenomorph outbreak. They could be on their way here now. Well, Weyland-Yutani used to own Hyperdyne, but now they're competitors, especially on the frontier. No government's claimed any of these systems. They're both dropping colonies all over, trying to beat each other to the best planets. And besides that, I mean, Hyperdyne's a big defense contractor for the UPP, right? Shouldn't we be worried about this starting a war between them and us? The pathogen could be a terrible weapon. Weyland was just trying to make better xenomorphs with it, but you could just drop it. Dump it in a water supply. There's enough down there to wipe out every human colony. Weyland-Yutani's got to be on their way here. If Hyperdyne is too, things could get real bad for everyone caught in the middle. I know you've got things to deal with right now. I'm just worried about what happens next.
Bada bangs. Guess we can't call you Boot no more, huh? Hell of a deployment. We found shit Weyland-Yutani spent a lot of time and money hiding. Ruins left by aliens that look like us. An orbital refinery used as a xeno breeding farm. And a lab using tech from the ruins on xenos from the refinery. We still gotta secure LV-895 in the alien ruins. There's xenos and mutants running loose down there. Normally, we carpet nuke the place, ruins be damned, but Doc Hanukkah says that can make things worse. Spray that pathogen shit all over the damn moon. Near term, we're gonna hold orbit, keep this shit locked down. I'll bet my ample Marine paycheck they're on their way here right now. They'll send military contractors, dog catcher units, lawyers. Maybe they'll talk, maybe they'll just start shooting. But that ain't all we gotta worry about. Doc Hanukkah says some rival company to Weyland-Yutani sabotaged Palace Station. Whoever that was, if they heard his mayday, they might be on their way here too. Shit's gonna get real interesting around here. You found old dog tags on Katanga. Shit. Rumor control. This don't go beyond you and me. Comprendo? The Corporal Olivia ship who owned these dog tags, that's our colonel. Some 20 years back, her unit responded to a xeno outbreak at a Seegson colony. The survivors evac to an orbital refinery, Katanga, but the bugs came with. Shit went bad. A civilian with a grudge took control of the refinery. The rescue dropships got wasted, and ship had to leave survivors through the station to the hangars. A lot of people got killed. Civies and ship's team. The bad guy herded them into xeno ambushes, ground them up in the works. Now, ship don't talk about how it ended, even with me. And I served 2 tours with her now. So don't you go asking her nothing.
What did you find over there? Parliamentary solicit... This has to be from the Three-World Empire. Whoever Wayland Yutani had running security on Katanga must have been lining up their next contract. The 3WE has a smaller military than they need. Every year, the Solar Parliament says they're going to expand recruitment. Every year, it gets tied up in committees. And every year, they end up paying twice as much for private military contractors from Wayland Yutani. They love bureaucracy over there. You blend the UK, Japan, and Europe, mix in technocrats from Titan and executives from Mars. About all they have in common is love of paperwork.
Somebody left a case on the Katanga perimeter? No worries, I'll fab up a replacement when we need it. Personally, I prefer Wayland equipment. Lightweight and the ballistic software updates itself when you hit port. But most Marines swear by RMAT battlefield systems. The gear's heavy and durable, lots of metals. Designs focus on reliability and stopping power. The joke is, you bomb an RMAT weapon, bury it for 6 months, then knock the dirt out, and it works. As a logistics professional, I'm gonna tell you that's BS. But it's true an RMAT gun can take a beating. Between you and me, I think most Marines like RMAT because they're the only major defense contractor in the United Americas. Pure jingoism. But hey, that's just me. I'm from Gateway Station. We don't play dirt politics.